Hey everybody, this is Denny.
And this is James from TDB, bringing you episode number 165. So we, as you can see from this very colorful wrapper with...
Drinking some Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's Abraham Lincoln. We got some shout-outs on the side to Yeezy,
Gaoshan, GFZ. Oh, we have a Black Lives Matter hashtag. Interesting. Rick Rubin. What?
I don't even know who that is, but...
Okay, he didn't. No, Swiss. Okay, these people didn't. They didn't proactively reach out to Rick. So Rick Rubin probably did not reach out to White2Tea. Rick Rubin is a very influential music producer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, going crazy here.
So, what in the heck are we drinking?
So we are drinking the Fade Brick, which is a production from White2Tea, 2016. And so basically he took a bunch of the huangpian from, some of it is from different productions that he's done, and he combined it, he blended it all together, and he pressed it.
Right. So it's looking extremely green and yellow at parts. The leaves are enormous. This is a really, really dense brick. And it smells young. It smells gasoline-y.
Yep.
It smells great, but you can definitely smell some sweet floral vibes in there.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to try this out.
Why don't you take a smell of that? And so this is basically made from huangpian, the big yellow leaves from those productions, which tend to be a lot cheaper, which makes this brick actually very affordable for what it is.
And the leaves are yellow because literally they're fading. They've kind of passed their prime a little bit, and that is definitely going to influence the price.
And it's pretty ugly looking, which is kind of expected, and could help the price be a little bit lower.
But it's brewing out a perfect golden, young, raw. Smell pretty center of the category, and then a little hint of maybe some oceanic stuff going on.
A little bit seaweed.
Something like that. And
this one's more.
Yeah. And when you're pulling tea off of the brick with your tea pick, James, do the tea leaves tend to stay intact? Does it crumble apart? Does it come apart easily?
Well, let's see what we got here. I think it depends partially on my own skills.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a little bit crumbled apart.
Yeah. It seems so hard pressed that you would be hard pressed. Haha. God, I do not need to make that a habit of starting puns on the show.
Yeah, it's certainly more difficult than your pound cake, for instance, which is
Most
really
definitely.
lightly compressed. Right. It probably would have been very easy to get whole leaves off of that.
Right. Yeah, it's looking pretty green and...
Yeah. And so these huangpians are really nice. A lot of farmers actually drink this sort of tea.
Sure.
It is lower in caffeine. The buds tend to have a higher caffeine content. So these huangpian, depending on the measurement, could be as little as half as much as the caffeine of that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It still has caffeine. It's not decaf or whatever, but it is it could be a little bit more friendly if you're drinking it in the evening. Cheers, guys.
It's light. We need to get into it more. It's coming up a little bit short right now, flavor-wise, but I can tell that there's some goodness there. Maybe a little bit of a honey sweetness, just a little bit. It's got a really, and I say it's short because it actually has a really nice front to it. It's got the texture of the liqueur right now is a little bit thin and light, but it still has that sort of peaty, smoky front to it that's really quite nice, actually. So.
Yeah, and I think it has a nice sort of mellowness to it. I've had this tea a couple times. This is my third time having this tea. So I reboiled the water just there so we can make sure that for the third steep at least we're getting maximum potency.
There's a little bit of maybe a lingering peppermint vibe. Maybe just the tiniest hint of some sort of citrus
Yeah.
Something kind of, and I think the oceanic vibe was more of like a getting ocean misted, kind of that salty, tart, and I think it's kind of a little bit of that lemony vibe coming in there too.
Yeah.
Yep. Now this compressed a ton, or I'm sorry, this expanded a ton because it was compressed so much. I saw how much James was using, and I was like, oh my god, that's definitely not James quantities. This is James quantities.
It is very soft, and there's not a ton of sharpness to the form, I would say. There's not like sometimes with these young shungs you can get really strong bitterness at the outset. You get almost the opposite of that here. It lingers in the mouth, and at the back of the mouth, I find.
This is a good, this feels like a daily drinker to me. This feels like something that you could pay attention to and then pay less attention to, that it's going to be reliable. And this is good. It's also just, I don't know, I haven't had young raw in a while, so it's nice.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think this tea is super complex, actually. But I do find that it leaves a nice feeling in the throat, which I enjoy, and sort of at the back of the mouth. So
yeah, and I'm not getting that insane, kind of energy, the caffeine thing. I'm granted it would take a while.
Believe it or not, we get more of that off of the ripe.
Yeah,
it's almost like a role reversal. We just had a small leaf ripe in the previous episode a week ago that we are still filling.
Yes, we are. Cheers. These bigger leaved teas, the idea of the caffeine being that you're going to have a set point amount of caffeine in the leaf, and then as the leaf ages and gets larger and larger, the caffeine is going to be kind of distributed throughout the leaf less and less, basically. Sort of if you have a finite amount of something and then you expand it, it's going to be per volume, it's going to be less. So that's why there's going to be less caffeine in this. I think, too, it's interesting. There's a lightness to this tea that I'm not sure I'm a big fan of. I think I'm expecting more flavor from it, and I think it's probably because of the leaves being just kind of huge and not having as much sort of flavor density going on as anymore. So
yeah, it doesn't have like that strong richness of flavor that you could get. Like the pound cake has definitely like up front, and some people may not like it because it could be maybe even a bit overwhelming. This is definitely more on like the soft, mellow end of things.
Yeah. I think this might be good for a newer,
harder to get bitter.
Exactly.
So it's more friendly in that sense.
Yeah. So for a newer, young, raw Pu'erh drinker, this might be good because it's going to give you more wiggle room, I think, to explore overbrewing this, underbrewing it. And that's definitely an asset if you're newer. So, but that being said, this does strike me as more of a just daily drinker.
Yeah, and it's sold for $24.50 per 200 gram brick. So I think it is priced accordingly.
Right, exactly.
Which I think is a pretty fair price for something that is about this quality.
25 cents a cup-ish.
I don't know, something like that. It's half the price of the pound cake, for your reference. So,
it's still nice though. I think my biggest complaint is going to be the body is just a little bit lackadaisical. That's about it though. I think it's tasty. It's good. It fits the young raw category quite nicely. So.
Yeah, it looks pretty shitty. The leaves, but
it actually does.
Yeah,
it's not the most aesthetic, but it makes sense as to why farmers are going to want to drink it because it's tasty,
and they could sell their good quality.
Exactly, they're going to have an easier time selling their higher quality stuff. So,
and I think that'll be the last steep for the show.
Cool, and so
smell that,
and we'll give this a whiff. Yeah, that oceanic thing is happening for sure. So,
so maybe a little bit extra water content in there or something.
Yeah. If folks wanted to learn more about tea, James.
Yeah, come check us out at tdb.org, releasing lots of content. Check us out on Instagram. Yeah, and follow us on all those things.
Subscribe,
Yeah.
follow, send money. We also are bribed with desserts.
That's true. You could send us cookies. I don't think we would review it on the show, but we would definitely eat them.
We might become a tea and cookies
Yeah.
show.
Don't spike it with those nasty things that people do in Washington State. The marijuana.
Oh, I thought you were going to say money, and I was going to be like, spike it with money. Just
Yeah, you spike it with money,
slip
but
hundreds in the
But let us
brownies.
know. I don't want to like bite 100 in half and be like, shit.
Well, now that we have completely sold out and plugged everything possible,
Yeah. Also check out white2tea.com.
We really enjoy their teas. They have some great budget options like this. They also have some fancy stuff, some young ripes, some older ripes, a whole bunch of good stuff. So check us out, check White2Tea out, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
Cheers.